guys, Programming Made Easy here, and today we are going to talk about a different type of conditional statement. It is called the switch statement, and it is a different way of chaining conditions together, and it's very useful when you have multiple conditions that you want to check at once. Okay, so the switch statement. So if you notice, all I've done so far on this project is imported my scanner object. So today we're going to evaluate how the user did in the class based on their inputted score. Okay, so as we already know how to solve this problem using conditional statements and else if statements, today we're going to do the same thing but with a switch statement. So the first thing we're going to do is create our scanner object called user input, and we're going to make that equal system.in like we always do. And the next thing is we're going to need to make an integer because we're getting a score, right? So we know it's going to be some sort of integer. We're going to call it grade, or actually we'll call it score, and it'll be equal to the user input dot next int because we're going to be expecting an integer. And then this is where the new sort of the new way of crafting the switch statement looks. So we're going to write switch here, and then in opening and closing brackets, and then in here we're going to put the variable that we're manipulating on, which is a score, right? The score is what's going to contain the switch statement. And then we enclose the switch in the brackets. And so then you make cases. So for each condition you want in a switch statement, you make what's called a case. And because we're looking at this score, the case is going to be concerned with the score. So we're going to be saying maybe something like, if the case is 90, right? So if our score is 90, we're going to do something like print to the screen, you did very good in this class, right? And then when you indicate that your case is over with, you put a break statement. So whenever you're done with that case, you're going to put a break statement. So let's just make a couple different cases for this and see what happens. So let's make a case for 80. Say you did good. Break. Make a case for 70. Say you did average. Case for 60. Say you barely passed, but you passed. And then let's break out of that one. And let's do one for if you fail the class. So if we run this program now, and here we'll just print to the console what is, what score did you receive in the class? So we run this now, we see what score did you receive in the class. Let's say I got an 80, and we did good. Now if you notice, the score is only checking for these specific numbers, right? It's not like within a range. So a key thing with all case statements or switch statements is there's this thing called the default. And basically the default happens when all other case fails, it executes the default statement. So maybe we'll say your score wasn't recognized, right? And then we'll break again. So now if we input anything other than these numbers that we have in our case statement, right? So let's say we get an 85. Our score wasn't recognized, right? Because we don't have a case for that specific score. So a way that you can fix this, or another cool thing about case statements, because of the break, right? It's if you actually have, let's say, our score's 95, and we do nothing in that case because that's still you did very good in this class, right? And we don't break until here, actually, if we input 95 as a score, it will execute whatever's in this case, and because there's nothing, it'll go right down to the 90 case and execute everything in there, and keep executing until it hits a break statement. So to demonstrate this, let's run the program. Say I received a 95 in the class, and it's printed out that you did very good in this class from the case 90. So that's a very powerful thing with switch statements. Uh, and I mean, yeah, this is the general structure of a switch statement, how you would use it in Java. So remember, when all cases fail, you execute your default statement. And then you can nest cases inside, or maybe even you can even nest conditions inside your cases. Like inside of here, maybe you could put a condition you want to check, maybe like if there is a certain number of students to pass the class or something with those grades. But yeah, a very powerful concept in Java, the switch statement. The next video we were going to go over the string object in Java in more depth, and then following that we will be talking about loops. Alright guys, this is Programming Made Easy. Subscribe for more, like the video, leave a comment to help me improve this channel. Thank you.